Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have DJ Academics exposes how Kendrick Lamar has created a atmosphere for Drake to get the Me Too movement treatment without people are evaluating his relationships with women. And honestly, I hate to break it to you, DJ Academics, but people have been questioning his relationship with women for many, many moons now. It's definitely not something that started this year. It's gone on for quite a bit. I've seen posts of people calling him a creep, of people calling him manipulative, allegedly. So yeah, man, this is definitely something that did not just start this year. And you definitely can't put this on Kendrick Lamar. While he did have a few bars, those bars are nothing in comparison to the talk surrounding Drake's relationships over the past few years. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Ack frames this and tries to weave this narrative, because at this point, the guy is pulling overtime to try to save Drake's career. And this honestly isn't really confined to anything BDF. It's really how he treats all women, because it almost seems like Drake weaponizes his relationships, or the way he'll snipe somebody's relationship. So yeah, man, this is definitely something that has gone on for years. Kendrick did not start this. Like I said, while he had a few bars, they honestly pale in comparison to the stuff that has been said about Drake in the past. I feel like the only thing you could probably say was that, yeah, once he beefed with Kendrick, a lot of this stuff did resurface, but it's not like this stuff hasn't been in the ethos forever. We've had these clips, we've had this footage for a very long time now. So all people are doing are just connecting the dots and spinning their own theories, their own narratives, and we can really only go by the stuff that we see. Like I said, these leaked DMs and other stuff. And it feels like Academics is working overtime to save Drake's career. Somebody that honestly doesn't seem to even respect Academics, especially given the fact that, like, guys, you've been in communication for years, but have yet to actually meet in person. The fact that Drake is actually showing up on all these streams that aren't yours is honestly wild to me, because you would think that Academics would deserve some type of screen time with Drake, given the fact that he is probably the OG master OVO glazer. Obviously, with like the possible legal implications that might be coming up, who knows how all this information is used. But as of right now, you can't really put this on Kendrick Lamar, fam. This stuff has been out there for a very long time. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into the video. Again, we have DJ Academics exposes how Kendrick Lamar has created an atmosphere for Drake to get the Me Too movement treatment with how people are evaluating his relationships with women. Hate to break it to you, man. This has been going on for quite some time.
Drake has been a very clean image guy. He's been to the point where some people look at him as Disney Channel. Could be on a cereal box.
Well, that's the big reason why, like, the labels invested in him in the first place. He was the safest option, fam. He's not going to get arrested. He's a child star, so the guy is media trained, and you know he's not going to say something wild in an interview. And I understand at the end of the day, you really don't want your investment to be a liability. But obviously, he's preparing to crash out, fam. Kamikaze style.
Doesn't say anything, whatever, that goes outside that regular mold. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that it was starting to change about 2 years ago, because Drake started pissing off the feminists. I ain't gonna lie to you. So when Drake would send shots at Meg Thee Stallion, or, you know, there was a whole like shade on Twitter saying that Drake's music was now getting misogynistic, which was like, that's very ironic given the fact that Drake's music was the music that the majority of women used to quote as their tweets on
They're pretty much the king of captions. We could see these all over social media.
How could that person be anti-woman, or for the suppression of women? People always say that Drake was a simp. I got my eyes on you. Hold on, we're going. Like, he used to make records damn near simping. But the theory and the thinking around Drake and the music he's been making, especially even getting up to For All the Dogs, is that the music has been getting a little bit darker and misogynistic, according to the woke people. And the point is this: when you get to the point where they're now evaluating his relationships with women, it's very much a possibility. Like, you know, I don't want to speak nothing into existence, but
it's crazy because that's exactly what you're doing when you're speaking on it. You're speaking it into existence. You're putting the narrative out yourself. And the more you speak on it, the more people are going to do their digging. And honestly, I wonder if this is some type of like secret plan to try to get back at Drake for going on all these other streamers but his. Because if you really want to squash a narrative, you do it by not talking about it. The last thing you want to do is put it out there again and have people do more digging.
I do believe we're going to see some shit pop out about Drake.
You
know why? Because sometimes the atmosphere breeds what you're going to see. The atmosphere right now for Drake breeds believability.
I said this in multiple reactions. When your reputation is at an all-time low. When you're so heavily disliked, it doesn't take a lot for people to believe these negative narratives about you. And that goes for anybody. Look at Diddy. Now, anytime something crazy comes out about Diddy, we automatically believe it because we've seen some other stuff. But we also can't discount the fact that he is going against UMG right now, and he's preparing to go to war against them. And honestly, what happens to most of the people that tries to expose the big bad corporations, the big bad industry? Usually, all their skeletons come out right as soon as they decide to go to war. And obviously, most of these battles can be won by just changing the public narrative of somebody. But honestly, they can only do that if you give them the ammo. If you were squeaky clean, there shouldn't be anything coming out about you. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say that Kendrick is the one fostering all this stuff. Obviously, academics pointed out that it has been going on for a few years now. Like, fam, how many TikToks do we see of people saying that Drake has been up to some creepy stuff? So this is definitely something that's been boiling for some time now. But definitely be prepared for any actual skeletons in his closet if this lawsuit ever does get filed. Because you're not just beefing with some artist. At that point, you're engaging in like corporate warfare. And those rules are different, fam. While we've definitely had artists in the past try to go up against the industry, or it's Kanye West who went against Def Jam. Guys, Def Jam is awesome. Def Jam is Def Jam. Kanye West was battling Def Jam. Drake is going to try to battle Universal, which is the parent company to all these companies. So to think that it's going to be an easier time for him, you're sadly mistaken, fam. Yeah, this is definitely something that's been boiling for some time. And I definitely expect with the fact that he's trying to go toe-to-toe with Universal, man, expect to see any actual skeletons in his closet come out that closet.
If you're a woman who Drake ran through, which he ran through a lot of them, he ran through a lot of niggas' wives, baby mamas, sisters, cousins, all of that stuff. Some of these people are disgruntled. I'm not saying that means it's completely false, but in the era of trying, and this is why I mentioned that he had a situation that, he settled or whatever. You never heard about that. Now, because the atmosphere that Kendrick created and probably other people are going to be like, you know what?
It's crazy to say that he created it, fam. The atmosphere has been around for quite some time. He literally just said it like 5 minutes ago, fam. People have been questioning these relationships for a very long time. Like I said, Georgia Smith, amongst others, where he was trying to leverage his star power to get her away from her boyfriend at the time. So there's definitely been some allegations thrown out there for quite some time, and a lot of times coming directly from the person who was involved. So we can't go and say that Kendrick Lamar fostered this when it's been there. And you have to be really careful saying that because, guys, there could definitely be some major legal implications by going out and saying stuff like that. And obviously, you're going to make a few people bitter when they feel like they're getting ran through and just getting sold a dream.
Let's amplify anything to do with Drake being seen legally as whatever, or being seen legally as he's not like us in terms of cultural, right? Or let's kind of hype up a story. Like, people file appellate briefs all the time, right? This is a big story that they're saying Drake might have been the killer. Why is this coming back around? That's a really shrewd way to, we're going to bury this nigga also with headlines. And that's why I agree with you. In the next year or so, I think we're going to see lawsuits and stories, disgruntled chicks popping out the woodworks. And a lot of it is going to be because he went at UMG.
Oh, 1,000%.
Not UMG directly doing it to him. But when you do buck at the system, you do realize that the system have protected you. I think that's one of the only, I don't know if it's a mistake.
Of course. The labels, just like the sports world, honestly, they cover up so much stuff from these athletes, from these artists, that it's mind-boggling. Just to protect their investment, just to keep them making records, just to keep them on the field. But when they buck at the system, like Ak just said, and they try to throw their weight around, or they try to strong-arm their negotiation, guess what, fam? We're going to let these stories out. And at the very least, even if we still re-sign you, it's going to be at a heavily discounted rate because your stock has definitely fallen from those allegations, whether they be true or false. So one can't be surprised that these things are resurfacing, but it's not like these things haven't been around. I don't think Ak is understanding that. This is definitely something that you can search on social media and find countless stories. So we can't be shocked and think that this is something new, that Kendrick Lamar is just drumming this up this year. Like, fam, this has definitely been around for a minute now.
Yet, because it's pretty early with what Drake is doing.
They're just probing right now, too.
The system protects a lot of people. And once that protection is gone, it's the Wild Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Drake wants to be in the Wild Wild West, but clearly he does, because He's getting at UMG. Anyway,
That could just be the ultimate level of hubris, you know? The fact that he may think that he can go up against anyone. He's made some wild enemies. For you to make enemies with Jack Dorsey, or like the guy that founded Reddit, you're going against tech billionaires. This isn't Meek Mill, bro. These are people that can definitely ruin your life, fam. And I think he bit off a lot more than he could chew by messing with a lot of these people's wives and disrespecting exes. He's definitely made enemies above his weight class, and I don't think he truly understands that. These mega billionaires are more than likely looking at Drake like he's a brokey, which is crazy to say because if the guy is not a billionaire already, he's close to it. But these guys are in another league. So you definitely have to be really careful when you start poking the bear or you start talking about Serena, who's married to a tech billionaire, and expect to have no consequences. But I do agree, and I've said it in all these videos surrounding this possible lawsuit. Be prepared for every skeleton to come out, whether true or false. It's going to do damage, and it's already too late to close Pandora's box. I feel like once you threaten an entity like Universal and try to change the status quo, fam, be prepared for a very unpleasant time. I honestly feel like it's wild for academics to come out and say that Kendrick Lamar is the reason why this atmosphere exists, that he's the one that fostered this. This has been around for a very long time, so we can't be shocked when these things resurface, especially when, yeah, you are going to battle with the UMG. Guys, it's Universal. They own like 60 to 70% of the music industry, and this isn't their first rodeo when it comes to having a disgruntled artist. The stories of where the artist actually comes out victorious is very, very rare and is usually not the case. Usually these people end up getting blackballed, they end up getting exposed for the things they did, and you don't want to throw stones when you live in glass houses. So it's something that you have to be really, really careful when you're navigating it. And like I said before, if you were still the golden goose, would you be going through any of these lawsuits? Or were you just trying to go about business and just try to get that $600 million deal, $700 million deal that you've been looking for? Obviously, your stock has definitely plummeted this year, so you're not going to get that from the labels. And with the fact that they totally ignored your claims every time you walked into those offices, I know that's something that you were not used to. I'm pretty sure over the last decade and a half, Drake has been very used to going in there and making demands and getting his way. It's obviously not the case anymore, and a lot of it due to his own doing. But people forget that their actions have consequences. I definitely don't think Kendrick is to blame for this. At the most, he probably made some casuals go and do their own research, but it's not like any of this information that's been coming out about Drake is new. I feel like these are all old videos, old clips, old DMs, and stuff like that that weren't in some secret vault. This is all stuff that has been online. And while I do expect for more stuff to come out, especially given the fact that he's going up against UMG, I wouldn't necessarily put that on Kendrick Lamar. And who knows if this isn't just a ploy by academics to try to get his get back at Drake, like I said earlier, for not showing up to his stream and showing up to everyone else's. It's not like academics and Drake on a stream wouldn't do monster numbers. I feel like that's something that people would tune in just to see their dynamic in person. And who knows if that'll ever happen, because I do have this gut feeling that Drake does not like academics at all. He's just using him as a pawn in his chess game, which he's been playing terribly this year, honestly, with all the misstrategizing. But definitely let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about academics trying to put the blame on Kendrick Lamar for fostering or creating this atmosphere that could potentially get Drake a Me Too allegation? Who knows, man? We'll see. I definitely do not think that Kendrick is to blame for any other stuff. All this stuff has been around, but definitely let me know what you guys think. And also let me know if you guys think this is like UMG's way of trying to discredit and destroy Drake. Drake is definitely in some scary waters, man. And this is not the type of conversations you want people having about you, man. It can get very ugly real quick. This guy might be next to Russell Simmons in a few months doing yoga in Thailand. But yeah, man, definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. Guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are freaking amazing. Channel has been growing exponentially, and it's all thanks to you guys. We just cracked well over 4,000 subscribers, and honestly, guys, it's 4 times what I was expecting in the first year. When I had originally set out in making these videos, I set a goal of 1,000 subscribers over the course of a year, which from going on Reddit subs and just asking around was sort of seemed like a lofty goal. But we did it times 4, and we did it in 8 months. So I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support. Honestly, it's one of the biggest factors in me making these videos. It's so motivating to see. And also the dialogues you guys leave in the comments. They're always amazing. So I definitely look forward to what you guys have to say about this topic. This is definitely something that can get very hairy for Drake. This conversation has been had for years now. So definitely let me know if you guys think this is something new. I honestly do not believe that because, like I said earlier, we've seen countless DMs, countless stories. We've seen countless TikToks. We've seen countless accounts throughout the years that have really planted this narrative, man. And I feel like with him going against UMG, we're potentially going to see some more of these come out. Who knows? We'll see. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. I feel like Lucian is about to be on a mission to cook Drake. But I hope you guys love the video, and I hope to see you guys soon. And also, I want to wish a very happy birthday to my little nephew, Jay, man. I love you, kid, and I'm so proud of you, man.